You know that feeling, right? When you get stuck in your head, just going over the same problem again and again and again? We tell ourselves we're just being careful, responsible even. But what if that's a complete lie? What if overthinking is actually just a fancy disguise for something else entirely? Okay, get ready for this, because this one idea, it kind of changes everything. See, we love to think of overthinking as this really smart, strategic thing we do. But this quote, it just yanks back the curtain, and it shows that all that deep thinking, well, it's usually just procrastination wearing a really nice suit trying to look important. All right, so let's just rip that mask right off. On the surface, yeah, your mind feels like this super busy HQ, full of strategic planning, but what's really going on underneath all that noise? What's the real engine that's keeping that thought loop spinning and spinning and spinning? So look, on one side, you've got the story we love to tell ourselves. You know the one, oh, I'm just being careful, I'm being strategic, I'm being responsible, and man, it feels so productive, doesn't it? But then, look at the other side. That's the truth. It's not strategy, it's fear. Fear of messing up, fear of not being perfect. It's just delay. It's procrastination, plain and simple. And this right here, this leads us to the absolute biggest lie that fuels this whole cycle. I mean, this is the trap that can keep you stuck in your head, not just for days or weeks, but sometimes for years. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Have you ever, in your entire life, actually had one of those perfect moments to start something big? You know, where the clouds part, the angels sing, and there are absolutely zero risks. Has that ever happened? Yeah, I didn't think so. Because the perfect time, it's a total lie. It doesn't exist. It's a fantasy, a fairy tale we tell ourselves to feel better about not doing anything. And if you're waiting for it, well, you're going to wait forever. It is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for staying put. Okay, enough doom and gloom about the problem, right? Let's talk about the fix. And the good news is it's ridiculously simple. It's the antidote to all that analysis paralysis. It's called the Just Start method. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Now look, this doesn't mean you just throw all your plans in the trash. Think of this as the emergency lever you pull when planning has turned into paralyzing. You're not trying to finish the whole thing. You're not even worried about making it perfect. Your one and only job is to commit to one tiny, super unscary piece of it. And how tiny are we talking? 10 minutes. That's it. Just 10 minutes. That's your entire commitment. Seriously, can you work on that big scary project for just 10 minutes? Can you write that email for just 10 minutes? Tidy up for just 10 minutes? Anybody can do that, right? The goal here isn't to finish anything. The goal is simply to start. So what's the magic here? Why is this tiny little commitment so unbelievably powerful? Well, it's because it totally hacks a huge mistake we all make about how motivation actually works. It flips our normal thinking completely upside down. See, most of us, we go through life thinking this way. We think we have to feel confident before we act. We have to feel motivated before we start. So what do? We just sit there, waiting for this magical feeling of readiness to just show up and give us permission to begin. But guess what? That is not how human beings are wired at all. The truth is the exact opposite. Action creates confidence. Action creates readiness. That tiny first step is the thing that generates the very feeling you were waiting around for. You don't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. You make your own just by moving. So how does it work its magic? Well, first off, it creates momentum. It's like tipping over that first tiny domino. Suddenly, the next one is so much easier to push. Second, you get real data and feedback. You stop just guessing and worrying in your head, and you start learning from what you're actually doing. Third, it demystifies the task. That huge, scary monster you built up in your mind, it shrinks down to something you can actually handle the second you face it. And finally, and this is the big one, it builds real, actual confidence, the kind that only comes from doing, not from just thinking about doing. All right, so let's make this real right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. What's that one thing you've been overthinking and strategizing about forever? I want you to pick one tiny piece of it, just one, and ask yourself, what can you do about it right now for just the next 10 minutes?